So we're digging this site in 3 separate areas. This is the central area. It's located on the southwest side of Old Arthur's Place, which is one of those lost streets of Dover, completely buried under the old Thompson's garage floor. What we're working on here are 14th century rubbish dumps mostly. We've got a whole collection of burnt orange clay layers, which seem to be the remains of old ovens spread about to bring up the level of the land, and they're interleaved with dark soils full of domestic rubbish, and they're also dumping areas of beach cobbles trying to bring up the level of the ground. So it seems to be an open piece of ground, no buildings on it, where they're periodically establishing yards and courtyard areas, and at the same time dumping their rubbish on it and relaying the courtyard again and bringing the land up and up and up. Quite why they're doing that I don't know, but they seem to have brought the level up maybe a metre or more over 200 or 300 years. The lowest level we've reached here is that it seems to be some sort of laid cobble surface, beach cobble surface, and it relates to an open area that's been formerly covered with stones to try and make, I don't know what, some sort of courtyard. Directly above it we've got this orange clay, which we thought was a floor, but it's not. It's just simply a dump come from some oven or something that's been demolished and spread around to raise the level up even further. The circular hole over the back there, that's an 18th century well. It was cut through all the layers right down to the water table. We haven't dug it out fully yet, but it's just another part of the sequence on the site. And this area is pretty much at the level we're going to take it to, which is down about 6 feet or so now, I suppose. The new building, which will be a new hotel, that won't be going much lower in terms of foundation. So the lower part of the archaeological sequence here, which is probably another metre or more, 4 or 5 feet perhaps, something like that, that will remain preserved and undamaged below the new foundations of the building. Maybe somebody can come back and have a go at that. Dover's lost streets used to connect with Clarence Street, which is another one of the old lost streets of Dover. Clarence Street ran more or less east-west here, and that little bit of walling just there is the last fragment of the boundary wall that used to delimit the edge of the street. And our courtyard metalling seems to come right up to that, so we're just trying to define that line of the old boundary wall. Terms, but nevertheless they are part of the story of the site, just more or less at the end of its sequence as we understand it today. Complex of medieval walls here, and we thought originally it was just one wall, but in fact it's at least 3, and it incorporates a bit of a door or a window there, maybe second hand. It's all a bit of a complicated sequence really. We're trying to work out exactly what's going on. I think it's all 14th or 15th century probably, something like that, so quite early. The big deep hole, that's a Victorian cellar, but it seems to be inserted into a much earlier building. These walls to the right here, these are the earlier buildings, so it seems like somewhere around about, I don't know, 1850, something like that, they've actually inserted into a standing building a cellar, which is a bit confusing. But what that is doing is giving us access to the very lowest deposits on the site, and we're hoping they might date to the Saxon period if we're lucky. We'll get to be certain of that. But